Hi everyone, it's Andrea back from my weekend away. And just to catch up people who aren't sure what's going on with me, last week I hardly had any releases. My first round I released a lot all the time. I had a really successful round, and don't get me wrong, I'm having a great successful round this time too. But something happened to me. I finally found the miracle noodles, and I think this is where all my trouble started with the miracle noodles. I found them, I loved them, I ate them for 2 days. I had little or no releases, and my mind went into panic. Let's just face it, I think I panicked. I've had such great success. I had never really known what it felt like to have a stall or to not lose any weight for a few days, so that was a new experience for me. And so I just started doing all this crazy stuff. Sorry, I've got notes today. I have a lot to tell you. So that was the last few days. I ate the miracle noodles with the pasta sauce, no releases. So I panicked and decided I'd better do an egg day. So I did my egg day with a kind of mini detox bath, because I went and bought the baking soda, which I didn't have enough of at home. And when I got home, I realised I was completely out of Epsom salts. I thought I had a whole bag in the laundry, but I didn't. So I didn't know what to do. So I just had the baking soda, and I put some MSM powder in the water. It's meant to be really good for your skin's elasticity and stuff. So that was really good. But I must admit, with the egg day and the detox adjoined to that, I actually only lost 300 grams the next day. And I just thought, oh my God, how bloody disappointing. You know, you try and do all this stuff and it's just disappointing. And that was Saturday morning, and I had to go away Saturday morning to Queenscliff for my big weekend away, and it was a great night. And even better than that, her boyfriend of 13 years wrote a song for her and sang it to her, which was just so romantic and gorgeous, and she really deserves it. She's had a hard life, and I'm really happy she's finally found, you know, such a nice guy. But then he got down on one knee and proposed in front of like 200 people at the party, and it was great. I was crying, everyone's crying, and she said yes, of course, and she was just overwhelmed. But I got to spend a great deal of time with her. We went back to her brother's house after the party, and we sat up till about 3 or 4 in the morning, and I said, don't you think you should go home to your new fiancé? She's like, yeah, I should. So she eventually went home after a big high. So that was great. I actually drank way too much red wine. But if you know me, I like drinking way too much red wine. I've gone off the vodka. Don't get me wrong, I haven't gone off the vodka. I love vodka, but I think that I gain so much more when I drink vodka compared to red wine. So I'm taking the healthier option. So I did, and I took food with me, so I was fine with that. So I went away for that weekend. I came home yesterday afternoon, so I hadn't weighed Sunday at all, and I kind of dared not weigh Sunday night. I just thought that was a bit, there's no point. Also, I forgot to tell you, one of my friends invited us for breakfast the next morning, and he cooked us bacon and eggs, poached eggs, fried bacon on white toast with lashings of butter. And I don't know why I hate that bread. I would have been all right getting away with just the egg and bacon, I thought. But I ate that bread, and damn, was it good. So I come home with really low expectations of this morning's weigh-in. And I also came home and read all my comments on my last vlog. Funny stuff, you guys. Yeah, we drove on the wrong side of the road over here. We're a bit backwards. So I read my messages, and I just have to read out to you one message that graphics girl, Gail, said to me. And after she said this, it was like pulling the blinds up on a blacked out room. I just can't tell you. It's funny how sometimes just one little thing that someone says makes everything click into place for your life. So after my kind of disastrous red wine, bacon and egg eating fest, I come home, I didn't weigh, I read my vlogs. Thank you for all your comments, but I'm sorry, this one just blew my mind. She says, so is your egg day like a fat fast day? Yes, Gail, that was the idea. Don't forget, you added the konjac noodles this week when it comes to the scales. I'm just concerned that you are deviating so much when it would be easier to be pop and harder to tell what your stalls and gains may actually be from. Hello? See, she's right. For some reason, why do I think I know better? Yeah, like I said, it was like opening the blinds on a blacked out room. All at once I realised so many things. I wrote on my Fitness Pal that I realised right then at that moment, no day's wasted if you've just learned something. It's not a wasted day at all. It's a joyous day, and it's a victorious day. So I can't thank you enough, Gail. You really put me back on track, and you made me realise that I've only been on my journey for 95 days. What makes me think I am that I know so much more, or that I can tweak what I know, or, just plain arrogance. That's all I've put it down to. Not really, I suppose. You want to change. You want to change in your menu. You can't. This is what I realised. You want a change in the food. You get sick of eating the same food all the time. So why can't I get through my head? It's a finite amount of time. It is 40 days. That is not a long time to stick with one or two different kinds of meals. I understand that you need to experiment to see what does work for you, and I have. Some things work, some don't. Like, we've got coconut oil, we've got mac nuts, we've got MCT oil, we've got the shirataki noodles. There's a whole range of things that people use and don't use, and some things work for some people and some don't work. Like, I can use the coconut oil, I can use mac nuts. I have no problem with them, but I cannot use MCT oil. And obviously the noodles take days to get rid of. So I'm not sure. I mean, I'm glad that I've experimented with that, but I've also worked out that you need to weigh up what you're willing to sacrifice, because by experimenting, I've worked out that you lose up to 7 days of losing weight time by your experimentation. Although if you don't experiment, you don't even know. So I think you need to weigh up your pros and cons of whether it's worth experimenting. I'm glad I can use MCT. I'm glad I can use coconut oil. I am so forever grateful that I can eat coconut oil and macadamia nuts. And I think I might leave my noodles for P3. I also leave my MCT oil for P3. So I have learned so much. I hope I can pass on some of that to you guys. Have I written anything else? My God, 9 minutes. I'm so sorry. I had so much to say. Yeah, that's it. Sorry, I was just reading. So you can be bold and venture forth and experiment and see what works for you and what doesn't. I am sticking to what I know works for me for now on. I'm not going to experiment for the rest of my round. I will not say I won't experiment in my future rounds, because I probably might. But for the rest of this round, I'm like Gail said, I'm going pop. I need to stay pop. I release really well when I'm pop. I've got a small 40-day window to do it in. I'm not sure why I'm buggerizing around and wasting days here and there and everywhere. Because on P3, I can do all the experimenting I like. So I hope this brings you up to date. I love you all. I would, by the way, my fitness pal told me this morning I have lost 51 pounds. 51 pounds since July. I've probably only got about 30 pounds to go now. So thank you all. I would never be here without you, without your advice, without your help, without your empathy, without your spirit and your souls being so joyous and giving to me and everyone else. So thank you, Gail. I'd love to hug you. There's a little hug for you. Love ya. Love you all. Hope your worlds are golden. Hope you're loving yourselves enough. Bye-bye.